Hi, this is my first video, and today I'm going to build a dreadnought battleship. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a shear and the simple proportions and stuff like that for the ship. And if you don't know what a shear is, that's basically so that water wouldn't spill up on the deck too much. It's very simple. It's sort of like a banana shape, but less intense. But basically that's how it looks so far. Yeah, this is recorded like a couple of days ago, or a day ago. Yeah, a day ago. So I don't really know what the fuck I was thinking. So yeah, you can see a destroyer in the background, but that's not what we're gonna focus on. Also, use the chords if you build ships. It's very useful. The ship is, I believe, 154 meters long, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong. Yeah, 154. You can look at the chords. But that's just the simple proportions of the ship, all laid out. Well, not the width and stuff like that. Alright. And now you can see that I got the stern shape, or the frame of the stern, done, and the bow. And you can see the one that looks more round, that's the stern, obviously. This is the bow that I'm pointing at right here. So you can see how I use slabs and also trapdoors to make the shape. So this is early 1900s, that's why it looked that, like, dreadnought battleships back then, they looked very thick, okay, so that's why it sort of looks like that. But yeah, I'm just flying around. Again, this is recorded a while ago, so I don't know what the fuck I was thinking back then. And my commentary isn't really the best, is it? But here you can see the stern, and it's round at the top, and then there's space underneath for the propellers and the rudders that I'm later gonna add. This is also part 1. I'm probably gonna make part 2 in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on how lazy I am, and it also depends on. I'm also gonna see if I'm gonna do 2 parts or 3 parts. It depends, really, on how the ship is gonna be. But yeah, like, okay, yeah, there you go. Now you can see the framing from the top that I've done, and you can see the bow is more pointy. I just dropped something. And the stern is more round. That's how it is for most ships. Maybe not for Italian light cruisers, but let's not go over that today. So yeah, very simple. I believe she's like 21 blocks wide, if I'm not mistaken. And 1 block is 1 meter, and this is 1-to-1 scale. So yeah. But now you can see the sort of framing of the ship being laid out. Now the framing will slightly change later as I build. That's always how it is. The framing will change depending on stuff like that. And also, I've only done the hull in this video. I'm gonna add casemates, which is basically cannons on the sides of the ships, or more professionally, batteries. They're secondary batteries. Here you could also see some framing, so yeah. But basically, they would just be on the sides of the ship, and basically I need to change the hull shape so that they could fit. And I hope you don't hear my dog in the background. But here I'm simply grabbing the blocks that I'm gonna need. Yeah, I don't want this to get turned into tutorial too much. Yeah, okay. I should have edited this part up, maybe. Alright. But now it's time to start making the hull shape. And this is where it starts getting interesting. It's very organic. So what you first do is like a skeleton, okay, like I do here. And then simply what you do after that is you fill up the gaps in between. So I've heard that's sort of how you do custom land, like custom land islands and stuff like that in Minecraft. I'm not really expert. Also, you could hear that on my voice, like, I really want to get this right, and yeah, I'll sort of fuck it up. Sound pretty shaky, don't I? Alright. But you can see I'm just placing blocks here. So this is how you do the framing. And there's going to be 10 of these, like, bones. No, ribs. They're more, it's more, like, it's going to sort of look like a rib cage when it's done. You're going to see what I mean. So ribs, I guess. You can see how I'm sort of making those. And this is how it looks when it's done. So maybe after like 2 hours, you have to really play around so that it looks right. And I'm flying to the stern, and you can see that the more towards the middle of the ship, the more intense the curve gets on the stern. Not really for the stern, but for the bow, you could really see that. You can see that it's very flat on the bottom. That's mainly so that you can fit propellers and rudders, but also so that you could sort of have more resistance to the waves and storms and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain this shit. I'm not really like a professional. Well, I am a professional at building ships. Let's not get into that. Alright, here you can see the bow shape. And you can see that the more you get to the bow, the more flat it gets. And if you look this way, you can see that on the gray part, the one part that's over the water level, it sort of looks like a flower pot, with the top being more curved. And that's also to break the waves easier in storms. But yeah, I'm just flying around showing you. Again, I don't really remember what the fuck I was thinking. I was probably thinking that I was going to say something here, but I don't remember. Yeah, okay, I don't... Oh, yeah, that wasn't very smooth. Okay, whatever. Well, here, I think I just trying to show you, like, how to fill up the ribs, as I call them, the skeleton, yeah, and really organic shapes, as you can see. I'm just filling them up, and you're going to be able to see the end result here. There we go. It's like one of these memes when you make a pixel art and place the last couple of blocks and then just zoom out. Okay, whatever. Well, that's how the hull looks, and you can see that it looks a lot more clean now. And I also changed the shear, so like the curve at the top of the hull that I talked about. I also removed the shear in the stern because I thought it looked better. But that's how it looks for now. Alright, I'm just giving a flyby here, so I'm gonna shut up. But now it's time to detail the hull. At least the draft, not the upper hull, because I need to know where the magazines are gonna go for the turrets. This is a fictional ship, by the way. But yeah, now you can see some details here on the bow. And the draft isn't really that detailed. It's more like the more interesting stuff is the propellers and the rudders. And here you see something that you may find pretty disturbing, okay? So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend anyone. It's just... You may have already seen it, but it sort of looks like a swastika, doesn't it? And trust me, I'm not a Nazi. That's basically, it's almost impossible to make a good looking 3x3 propeller in Minecraft. I even tried to do trapdoors on the sides so that it looked less like a swastika, but yeah, it still looks really sus. So, yeah, I hope I don't get famous, because if so, there's gonna be out of context compilations with this. But basically, I've used that propeller design before, and like I've really tried really hard to come up with a better propeller design that is 3x3 meters. So basically 9 square meters. Haha, I know math. Yay. But yeah, this is the end of the video, and I hope you learned something. Probably gonna make a part 2 soon. And bye. Hope you enjoyed.